And we are back. Do I see the numbers? I see the numbers. The numbers are on the top. Good. Yes. Happy Sunday afternoon for those of you celebrating a fine Sunday yourselves. I don't know. Who knows? There's 7 days to choose from. Any day is a good day to watch the Runcast. By the way, what this is a Runcast. It is episode 52 of the Runcast, I believe. And my name is Runman. I am the host of your sponsored programming. So today we're going to be running. This run brought to you by Shoes, Feet, and the Human Form, all of which attribute to my capacity to do this. Whew, all right. Running in shorts today. Whew, shorts today because it's a nice warm one. We've got that California haze. The mountains are not blue, that's good. They're blue-ish, that's bad. But then again, those are human terms, aren't they? The mountain is as the mountain does. It just mountains. Me, I run man. I both run and am a man, actively in real time, breath by breath, word by word. Today, coming at you live from the left-hand sidewalk, looking at oncoming traffic. The reason why we're running right now, in the height of the heat today, this is a little after 3, is because I got out nice and early today. Isn't that great? Woke up at a decent hour, in fact, a good hour for me. Quite nice of an hour, as planned, right? And guess what? I got a decent amount of sleep before that. Woo! Talk about successes to keep track of for later, when times are necessary, or perhaps not so necessarily simple and easy, but become more messy. Blech. That's what we're talking about here. Talking about different kinds of times to experience. Sometimes are hazy times. Some days are warm days. What started out as a cool morning became a warm day. It was nice to have experienced a warm morning. Then it was nice to step out the door around 10:15 to start shipping food to people. It was fun. It was a good time. Took a while for traffic to kind of catch up a little bit, but when it did, it definitely did. For a not metropolitan area, which means you can still squeeze by the roads even at crazy times. Oh. And gosh, the adventures were mundane and banal. With one exception, I received a crazy tip. I won't give the numbers, but it's unbelievable. I can't believe it. I'm wondering, because I haven't looked into it, I'm wondering what that tip was from, which order. There was one order that the GPS would have sent me in the wrong direction, and I was given great directions that corrected things by a customer. Man, you know how it just so happens that if customers have to help you with the order, they'll often also tip you more. That's odd. I feel like when things go more smoothly, I should get tipped better. And they should be able to just kick their feet up and do their thing and tip as they please. But lo and behold, look at us. Everybody works out. Plus, I was communicative myself. It's true, I was a complete upstanding gentleman the entire order as well. And I suppose it wasn't a small order, so the tip may have been proportional to the whole situation there. That's just the thing, though. We play by play. We communicate every step of the way. We do our best. If it is the order that I think that it was the one where I pulled over in order to text as the person was perhaps over-managing my navigation. They didn't say anything they hadn't said before. They just kind of repeated themselves a couple of times. And, I just gave them a little confirmation when they noted where I was with the GPS. And they thought I was in one place. There was ambiguous language. They said I was in front of a school, which I was, but there were 2 schools right next to each other, and across the way was their house. Fortunately, they gave me excellent landmarks to work with. Landmarks that I will keep to myself. But they did help. And I got paid. And then I got paid. I have made my daily quota. I have made the number that I wanted to make. You're welcome, thank you. And hey, it's just like, listen, all of that happened, all that happened back then, that was just a fractal of the whole thing that we do. This ongoing conversation called life. You saw me do it again just now. I saw that guy. He wasn't going to give me space. He was going the wrong way on the sidewalk. There was a wide, berthy bike lane. But I've been a biker, man. I know what it's like to take the bike lane. It's terrifying. The sidewalk feels better. Cars have to err in a hyperbolically, catalytically more terrible sense to get you, particularly on these sidewalks, where I'm at now and where we were just then. And unlike stealing me down with an unfeeling gaze, the gentleman actually said thank you. Because as I do, I poetically, reflexively, simply took the way that I know my legs could go really, really easily at no expense, making everybody's life easier in the process. So what if I don't get that luxury from other people? Somewhere, you listen to me, and you listen well, my friends. You can take this one straight to the piggy bank and deposit, because the wisdom is ceaseless. You'll find it everywhere if you look. I will tell you now, and these are not my words. I'm sure they've been said 1,000 times. In this particular iteration, this is my iteration, and I will echo the wisdom of the past to you. The wisdom is this. Let me take a couple of breaths here. The grace that you afford and the way that you come to the world is considered in what the universe gives back. I don't know if that's true, but it appears that operating that way continues every day as a practice to temper a strange sort of connection with daily events in my life. As if I've got a second set of hands and a second set of eyes looking around and operating in a more opaque version of this world, but whose rules are just as solid, if not more solid. Let me say it even better. Let me say the wisdom better. The signal you put out is reciprocated by the universe. And we've said that 1,000 times on the podcast so far, probably, but always in so many different kinds of words, right? By the way, this is a short run today. This is just a little catch-up run. This is for me to keep on my groove while my body recovers from giving blood. My bruising is not healed from the puncture. It's been a few days. It's getting there, though. I tried lifting weights with my blood-giving arm today, and it worked out just fine. So we're back, baby. But having said that, I just want to keep the blood that I do have flowing. Keep stimulating everything so that we're tip-top magoo, as Joey Diaz would say. But anyway, I put out a signal. I said, hey, it is such a thing that I have the ability to come to just get to this part of the road, make a non-issue out of what could be an ugly confrontation with a stranger. It is so easy to just turn it aside. It's like having a well-polished, heavily refractive shield at all times. And it's semi-permeable. It lets the good stuff in, but the bad stuff rolls off. Or the possibilities roll off. I play the odds, and it gives me options in the dance of life. And in my other hand is a blade. A blade of attention, a blade of communication. A blade of action. We roll. I don't know if it's true. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the quest for knowing that these things are true. If I do know they're true, then knowing is conditional. I'm so exhausted of that conversation. What's real? What's right? What's wrong? Can I know? Should I know? Have I been left far behind? I'm tired of it. Tired of it. So on days like today, I hike up my britches, put the belt on, sling the sword and the shield, and I get on my steed and I ride. I put out the signal. I interact with people. I provide grace. My mind has been filled with commerce these last few months. I've been thinking of all things as exchanges. Exchanges, each one of which provides an interest that goes right into the piggy bank, the cosmic piggy bank, and it showers down upon everything. I prefer to think it happens best when I act with love, discernment, awareness, practice. And then there's times I almost hit a car earlier, but I didn't. I also had a really nice conversation with a stranger. I also was given those directions and acted on them in just the right way. I also played it safe on that particular order and refused Starbucks my services because I didn't want to leave my time in a choked position, even though that's the way of these apps. As soon as you look like you're on the last 5 minutes of your current order, they back you up with another one, which compels you to be quick. But it also makes it really easy to see these jobs, these deliveries as frantic races. I refused to do that. So I didn't make $7 off that order. Instead, I got a $20 tip. Damn it, I said the numbers. And I swore. Well, this was going to be a household-friendly podcast, but I guess we can dispense with that now. Fuckity, fuck. Welcome to Fuckcast. I'm the Fuck King. The Fuck King forgives. This time. It is all good. We out here on the road. It's organic. It's process. It is possible to practice these things without stifling them. Some of the best musicians in the world are some of the hardest workers in the world too. Or I'm wrong. How is it possible to know? I don't know, man. You just gotta go with your instincts at some point. Hi, puppy. Hey. Oh, he was tiny. Yeah, a little waggy pup. All right, back to business. What's our business? I like how, as I said that, a bunch of laughter rang out from the right. Did you hear that? That's the universe. Did you expect a satisfying answer? Well, depending on what mood you're in, and depending on a lot of factors, you just got your answer, or you're not going to get your answer. Take your pick. Because that which just happened, that's our business. For that kind of business, we don't need a suitcase. We just need to hold a phone, immobile, on its side with the cord connecting speakers and a microphone to it. We just need to hold a phone and talk about it. And then what comes is our business. Come what may, gonna get some business done today. No matter what. Gonna come at it cause we got the guts now. This is 6 seconds of beatboxing brought to you by shoes, legs, feet, and a human brain capable of speech, interpreting laughter and applause as today's business, and chewing through a sloppy beatboxing set. It's not about being the best. It's about having the spirit. I vote for that guy every time. He's more fun to watch as he gets in the ring. Whew. You may think I lost you for a second there. You may think I didn't have anything to say, but I was gauging something. And it's true that I don't have much to say today. Of all the last minute decisions, throwing on the headset, this was the last minutest. I really wasn't going to podcast. I just didn't care. I got home and I was staring at my phone screen like, I made that much? I mean, I can feel the life insurance salesman folk at the last time I applied for a job rolling their eyes and saying, you understand that's nothing, right? Well, they're nothing. Well, that's my business, isn't it? I was staring at that screen and I was like, damn, okay, well, now there's no need to come back at it for a second shift today. I will anyway. Just as long as it's fun. But while I wait for traffic to die down and the heat of the day to pass, let's run. Since I already did my weights and everything, it's easy to run right now. There's no 10 other things to do. And then we get back, cool off, cold shower, take a late breakfast. If that breakfast is around 5 or 5:15 or 5:30, we're going to be in tip top to do a few more orders. Tip top. And we can call it a fasting day since I haven't eaten yet. My last meal last night was 8:30. I ate pretty late last night. Although, it's not really that late, is it? It was one of those where I made that giant, Deadly Man Champions cauldron pot of chili. Unfortunately, because I'm working with cast iron, that has been seasoned and reseasoned many times and has texture and great wear and tear on it. I've been squirrely about cooking beans in it anymore. So it was microwaved beans and cheese. The meat and the mushrooms and the extra oil and a couple of cut olives, a couple of thin sliced olives, and a few thin sliced cherry tomatoes. That went into the pan and came out with a little kiss for yours truly. Well, we're coming up on the walk spot. There's people on the walk spot. When we pass these guys, I think I'm going to turn around. Because it's a short run today. Some days are long run days. Other ones are short. You know what we can do? We can crest the hill. Speaking of giving things a little kiss. I just thought of a few choice obscenities about kissing, referring to this hill. Instead of saying them, let's take a moment and rather than rewire the profane to serve us in the indulgence of the sacred, perhaps we'll just indulge directly in the sacred. Can I get an amen? I half expected to hear a wind pick up, but it didn't. You know what? An antlered creature is not currently bounding up and out of the grassland and goring the shit out of my tiny pink body. I'll take that as the grace that I'm looking for. After all, grace is the currency of our business. Give some, we get some. Never the same way twice. As it is in all things in life. Or, perhaps as always, I'm completely delusional. And everything is a mundane exercise. Life is the most banal thing that an infant could invent. In a stuporous daydream on the way to oatmeal. And TV cartoons for dinner. I speak like I don't like my cartoons. Maybe not so much anymore, but I still like them sometimes. And there's certainly a warm place in my heart for most media, parts of most media anyway. Where would I be without the stories I grew up with? Good, bad, and ugly. And the characters and the legends. And the writings. And the campfire tales and the ghost stories. Where'd I be without Saturday morning cartoons? Where'd I be without... All that I can think of right now is Last of the Mohicans. It's a pretty good movie. Favorite movies? Favorite movies? Low is one of them. It's a good one. Mirror Mask is a good one. Whew. Having a hard time thinking outside of the matrix of adventure movies. What about animated? I don't know, man. Ever since I turned off Netflix, I'm having a hard time remembering media. Or, television and that kind of thing. I got a lot of YouTube stuff, but very little of what I see on YouTube is my favorite. Once or twice a month, I'm still astounded by one Joe Rogan or another podcast. Cosmographia always delights. I'm recently into Snake Bros podcast. I'll bet you love me blowing into the mic like that. God, it feels so satisfying, though, to make a wind tunnel with my mouth like that. It's very warm. Very warm today. It's not typically this still. We're definitely still in prime fire weather. Could use a little rain. Could use a little... I don't know what we could use. Solar panels in space. Just really absorbing all this good stuff. Just like my skin is. Including my shaved scalp. Yep. Got a bit of a sunburn on the scalp. Just lightly pink. Nothing crazy. I'm still using the lotion. And we're going to stop today's podcast before I get to the dollar store because they've got more lotion with my name on it. And lemon juice, but that's besides the point. Or is it? I want lemon beers tonight. Yum. Hell, if I want to get crazy, maybe we'll grab some spices too. One thing that my current chili batch is missing, my half-eaten chili batch, is garlic. How can you have chili without garlic? Well, poorly, I would say. Not poor as in financially. It's just less of a zingy, zesty, zany experience. But I'm a little bit curmudgeonly with my physical travels. I deliver for food. I run. I occasionally walk. separately from the running. I guess this is me trying to weave errands into errands, so to speak. Efficiency. Right now it is a good time of day to be this active because I identify that my sensitivity, lackadaisicalness, creativity, and subtler selves increase in strength as the day goes on. But physically, and just in terms of the raw amount of energy I have to bring to things, of course, I'm diurnal. Those things go to your run. But hey, if you think about it, learning to weave these practices into life, that can only serve me when we're doing bigger runs later. Who knows how much longer later? Certainly not right now. But we're setting the foundation. Maybe that's the name of this podcast. Season. I'll call it right along with Run Man. Season 1. Foundations. And we'll figure out just like, or we are figuring out, such things as why we would do something like this. Why have a practice of any kind? Why not just sit on the couch? I love the couch. Sometimes, if I forget to ask about it, I'll just default to it. And then it takes a weird, strong wind to be like, hey, shit, man. My legs are asleep and my lower back hurts. Let's roll off the couch and worm around a little. Touch some surfaces with my sides and hands and back of my head and get my earlobes in. Rub up against a chair. Get fetal for a second and just chill on my side. Maybe stand up and go to the porch and look around. The same old trees, but they're not the same old trees. The same hedge, but not the same hedge. I'll tell you something right now. The couch is going to feel good in a few hours. Anything that's not running is going to feel really good in, 5 minutes or so. Holy moly. Haven't even been at it that long. Well, it's the blood, and we did take a rest day, but that rest day came after 7 runs in 7 days. Most of them an hour or more. I podcasted a couple of them. And then yesterday we ran. Didn't we? Yeah, because yesterday and the day before, I was gonna lift weights, but I had this damn puncture in my arm. And it just seemed like a weird idea. To compress those tissues while almost open on one end. I came up with an idea. Maybe it'll be smart soon to do a brief test on one of these runs. Just a brief series of jumps. But the jumps are bigger and bigger, right? I'd like to see, after getting warmed up by running and stretching, I'd like to see how that works out. At what point do I start cramping up again? Or am I not cramping up as long as I'm paying attention? Is there a difference between jumping up and down and lateral jumps? Because I got a pretty good lateral jump. I'd like to know that I can apply it again in my 30s. The way that I used to without thinking about it in my teens and my 20s sometimes too. I was thinking about this yesterday with a friend. I was thinking about leaping rock to rock down south a ways near Yosemite. The last time I was down there. A lot of cool granite down there. Cool granite that adheres to your... Not adheres. It grips you back. It holds you back. On the Snake Bros podcast, I learned that concrete is among the hardest things to drill or saw through in the world because it's so composite. You never know if what you're hitting is a tiny grain of limestone or 3/4 inch thick vein of quartz crystal, and it just keeps changing up on you like that. So there's no way to smoothly cut it. We don't have tools that are so good at it they can just do it smoothly. There's always little hiccups in the machines, apparently. It's a hard, dang old rock. I didn't realize that quartz was a particularly strong crystal, but I guess it is. I wonder how many soft crystals there are. It seems like, because, well, hard can be brittle, right? I wonder what the hardness index of obsidian is, typically. Because that's the thing about hardness. If you can overcome the hardness, then you're dealing with a different entity when it comes to cutting through or bursting through a rock or a pebble or a boulder or a crystal or a vein or an ore. Yeah, didn't expect my wrist to hurt so much just now, but it does. I don't know why. It's not that much. It's not that much, you know. It's only been a few minutes. Come on, thumb. Do your job. You have one job. Oppose things.